Hello all and welcome to Zlane channel. So in this video, I will talk about the familiar skills on the field, battle, active and passive. So if you see at your familiar itself, you will see there are three kind of skills. If you click on familiar, and you will see the skills is here. So every familiar have three kind of skill, two on the field, one field passive, one field active, and another one you will see as battle active or either to be battle passive. So I have do a comparison in a spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet I will share it in the video, the descriptions down below for this video here. So this is what I found. So basically, cut it short. For the things that is the only thing that is different is on the familiar adventure and also the familiar arena. So we have like the field, the normal field kind, we have the world boss, we have the chaos field, we have like the field boss and stuff. But then, and we also have like different kind of battle skills. But the only thing that affecting the familiar power, CP and stuff, that is a bit differently comparing to the others is just really the familiar adventure and familiar arena. So why is it different is that in this two here, both field passive and the field active are not there. So I will explain to you like why is it not there. At first, before I really do the analysis, I thought it was always applicable, and I keep on focus on creating a team that has like a mono element in my arena battle. I thought that skills will apply, but unfortunately it doesn't. So yeah, it doesn't. So yeah. And then you will see like the active skill. So the difference, yeah, this two here does not apply at the familiar adventure, and accessories for the extra awakening is also not applicable for the adventure and arena. So this one here is not applicable, and let me just bring it to smaller size. Let me bring it smaller. And then let's go back to the window itself. So as I say, in the normal field, we have like field passive and field active here. So this too is applicable as and when. So for the passive skills itself is quite easy. The definitions of the field passive is that it works all the time and it happens anywhere as long as the familiar is being equipped, which is the one shown on the screen down below. And if you see, the next one is that it is a permanent buff. So whenever you have equipped the familiar itself, you can always check on the top of the buff. You will see that the passive skills are applied on the top. So this is the field passive. And that if you go into the continuous one, but this will not work in the familiar adventure and arena, and which I will show in this video as well. So example, Toko has a field passive buff that adds skill city by 3%, which is my current Toko awakening 6. Of course, if you have a different awakening Toko, you have different kind of percentage, but then there are defense type, there are like others different kind of skills for different familiar, but the skill city is one of the things that I could analyze, so that's why I use Toko in this case study here. And if I remove the toy, so it's just to test the pure field passive there, because if you see the toy has the city effect, but the city effect doesn't, I mean the toys does not apply into the normal field here. It applies to the familiar arena and also the familiar adventure there, but just to purely show how the passive skill is working, so I will just unequip it in this case here. So let me just go to toy, unequip. So you will see skill cooldown in familiar adventure and familiar arena. So for the toy itself, on the top, this all applies to any kind of all kinds of different situations. So if you see on my analysis here, the toys that it applies to every situations, but then this toy special effect, which is the one down below here, is only applied in the arena itself and also the adventure. So let me just unequip this one here, unequip this one and this as well. And then you can see right now, if I see my stack turn stat here with Toko being equipped. So if I go into my familiar and Toko. So if you see the Toko field passive skills, it says that it decreased skill cooldown of Earth familiar accompanied the partner by 3%. So any kind of familiar which is Earth will be affecting by this buff here. And then if you can see, the rest is like HP potions cooldown by 3% and increase the partner damage by 100%. So the thing is that right now the field passive is only something that applicable to the field, and you can see HP potion cooldown 3% for each Earth familiar equipped. So this is towards to my character. So when I have Earth familiar equipped, this one here, it decrease my character cooldown HP potions. And for this one here, if I check my stack turn right now with Toko beside it, you will see the targets for 1 second. So when it use the active skills, which is the adequate skill, it will require like 38.8% cooldown because of the deductions of 3% from Toko effect. So if I unequip Toko right now, and then I check it back on my stack turn, you will see that it backs to 40% cooldown. This is because if you see back on my sheets here, where is it? The sheets here, so I put it in here. So if you see the 3% of the 40% is actually showing the, let me just zoom. So if you calculate from 40 seconds and minus the 3%, you would get like 38.8 seconds, and then you will see that the CD for stack hunt skill is at 39 seconds on the screen, which is in this one here. So right now it has used its skills, but then if you would like to wait until it fully cool down, you will see that it will need like 40 seconds in order to complete the cooldown. While I equip it with Toko itself, then it will move up to 39 seconds because it kind of rounds up rather than round it down. So let's see, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when it uses skills, so you will see it start from 40. And if I equip Toko into it, Toko, equip, and then the next cooldown, you will see it returns to 39 seconds rather than starting from the 40. It means that it's actually effective at 38.8 seconds there. 13, 12, 11, 10, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it will become 39 here. So you can see, so the field passive is activated in all the field and stuff, but then the one thing about the skill passive is that it doesn't apply into the familiar adventure and arena. In this case, I will use adventure just to show you guys. Let me just select this one here. So let me just dispatch my stack turn here. So with the single dispatch itself, you will see that the stack turn is also having a CD at around like 40 seconds for its skills. Okay, so you can see it uses natural revenge here, and it's a cooldown of 40 seconds. So let me check back on the natural revenge. Familiar. So I believe if you check on the familiar. Which one is? Yep, this one. So it using the battle active rather than the field active there. So this skills here is the skills that applicable in the in the arena and also the adventure itself. And you can see even with Toko itself it's still 40 cooldown, and if I unequip Toko here and back to the skills, it's still 40 cooldown because the field passive skill here does not apply to the battle adventure and also the arena. So if I go back into the challenge adventure, and if I bring in even like Toko with me to this field here, so losing does not cost you any ticket, so it's always good to try and test around. So if I bring Toko with me, the cooldown is still 40 seconds as is clearly displayed on the descriptions. So it doesn't affect even you have like a bunch of greens together or stuff like that. It doesn't affect. So you can see the cooldown is starting at the 40 without any changes or effect from the Toggle field passive, because that is a field passive. But then if that skills is a battle passive, then it yes, battle passive is something that applicable into the familiar adventure and also the arena. So let me just bring back my screen here. So I talk about this one, about the field passive. And of course, the field active is quite easy. Field active is defined as, I do not put it there. So if you would like to see what's the descriptions, I put it down below. Field active is quite easy to understand. The field active is actually the countdown time here. So if you see when my skills is cooldown and when my pet is using the skills itself, this skills here is the active skills. So you can see Skippy, Divine Protections, and if I go into the familiar, and click on my familiar. So Divine Protections is the field active skill, so it has a CD here. So passive skill does not have a CD and direct apply to your buff sections, but the active skills is the one that applicable when it uses skills and it has a CD effect. And this is all about this passive, the field passive and field active, and I hope this actually explained. And going into, yep, if you see the field active here, of course, if you see the skills that are used by the familiar, if you're familiar having a battle passive skill, then that passive skills are actually applicable in the familiar adventure, and it doesn't have it still won't use the field active because field active is only in the field, and whatever that is in the familiar adventure or arena itself, uh, it only use the skills that start with battle. So only one skills are applicable to the arena and also the adventure itself. So if you check your area of your familiar, let's say this one is battle active, this is battle active, this is also battle active, then here we have a battle passive. So area of the familiar, they will only use this one skills in the arena or the adventure, so that would not use the field passive or field active. Let's say for this one it has battle passive, no active skill. Yes, it doesn't have the active skills because um, yeah, field active here will not apply into the arena or the adventure itself. So this is the reality. And let's go back to the Excel sheets. So this I explained about the battle active and battle passive. And for the battle active and passive skill, you can see just now, if I go back into the arena again, I'm into the adventure again. Let me just equip back my toy for my Toko. and just put it back on. So let me just go into adventure and let me see if there's any level 6. There's a level 6 right here in full. It's just 19. It's not worth to do it because I can get more when I farm in the chaos field itself. And I have some mobs that are level 5. Yes, dispatch it. So if I select here, so you just have to take a note there. The skills that are used by my familiar is always the skills that have the battle mark on it. So you can see right now is the fire determinations. Natural revenge is also the battle skill. Ouroboros spin. And then for this 2 as well is actually using the battle skills as well. So it only spam one skill rather than using the other skills that has the field labor. So only battle skills are applicable here. And let's back to the sheets. And for the accessory extra awakening and also the toy comparison here, so you can see for the toy stat, as I said, is all applicable in all kinds of field. And for the toy stat itself is on this one here. Let me just bring the toy. So this stat here on here, so the, let's say for a jacket, attack, defense, and HP applies in all kind of situations whenever you use the familiar. So it applies in every places. The only thing that does not apply is on the special effects. So if you see the special effect, there are some all effects. Usually it's the jacket one. So there is the all effect defense +5 for the familiar adventure and familiar arena. It is clearly stated that this special effect here only affecting these 2 places but not the rest. So if you have like a job specific skills, if I see my Toko here, even it has a skill cooldown, it doesn't apply into the field. It only applies to the familiar arena and also the familiar adventure. So if I see back on my Toko, let me just bring it to my sample case here. So for anything that is unclear, I put down all the informations that I will explain on the video and here as well. So let me see if I did the... Yep. So I did another video about the toy effect and stuff for the stacking. And let's say for the toy special effect on the field. Yeah, I will put it down in this sheets because I think I did not put that. Let me just show you guys on it. Familiar, let me click on the familiar. And if you see on the field active skill here, so it has a 35.89 CD effect right now. And if I unequip this 2 pin here, it will remain the same 38.5 something. Let me just go into my toy and unequip this one here first. Let me just go back to it. Familiar, Toko, and if I click on this one, you can see it's still 35.89. So it doesn't affect on the skill, field active skills, even is a CD effect. So the only thing that are affecting the CD is on the field passive, which is this one here. And let me just equip back my Toko. Auto equip. Okay. And bring back to the Excel sheets. So that I have explained on the toy buff itself and accessories. So for the accessories itself, Yep, I will just read through since it's my wording. I would say use the 3 stars for the second and third if extra awakening effect here. So you can see there is like three kind of different kind of effect. And while crafting your 4 star with Awakening 7 as the main, because Awakening 3 unlock the second slots of the extra Awakening effect, and the Awakening 7 unlock the third slots. This two here is something that helpful for our field farming and stuff, because even like in the PvP content, this is because it adds the familiar basic attack damage and also the familiar skill basic damage. So if you see back on this effect here, this effect is taken into most of the content. It's just not affecting the familiar adventure and arena, but it affecting the rest of it. So if you see, go back down here, and this is because the 3 star accessory on the 3 star accessory itself is only focused on HP or defense. I think I need to rephrase and change some things because I keep on rephrasing, and I think yeah, there's some grammar mistake here. So I was use 3 star for the second and third extra awakening effect, because 3 star is something that we can get easily from the field boss crafting, or even like from the chaos field. We can awakening it to high level just to get this to for the extra benefit there, while not using my 4 star, because right now my 4 star have not reached awakening 7. So it means that I will lose my all familiar skill damage benefit there. And one thing about the 3 star, so this is because 3 star are one thing not good about 3 star, one thing not 4 stars. Let me just rephrase it here. One thing 4 stars accessories are better than the 3 star accessory. This is because the 3 stars are only focusing on the HP or defense, which does not help in the field due to the monsters are just only attacking the player but not the familiar. So basically 3 star, I'm just enjoying this two at the bottom, but not the very top one, because if you see on the 3 star, it's really all about HP and also the defense. If I click on into my inventory itself, sorry, what did I click on? I click on Spotify. The accessory. So if I see my 4 star accessory, at least it deals damage to poison. And right now you can see I'm equipping my necklace 4 star because I have awakening 9 here. I have the second and third slot being equipped. For this one, I have one unlocked, so I use it. But then if I compare it to my 3 star, because I got the 3 star later than my 4 star, so it's kind of funny for the situations here. I get the 4 star first before the 3 star, that's why I'm using the 4 star. And as for this ring here, I have a lot of different kind of ring, but I'm not using it because I do not want to lose the familiar skill damage. This is the main damage that my familiar can deal with. I mean, it benefit me for the all familiar skill damage here, but if I change it to this is my best 4 star, I do not have that extra effect lock. Even like you still can enjoy the familiar basic attack damage +5 rather than this one at +3 only. But then the skills damage is very important, because if you see on the battle active skills, that is where the familiar deals the damage. So if you do not have awakening 7, I would say yeah, it's better to use a 3 star, because if you see here the field active, this is the main thing that um, that deals a lot of benefit to your attack and stuff. So you can see the damage are from here, and yep, it's really the important part is really this one here that makes your pet super powerful. So I would like to increase that damage, so that's why I use the Awakening 7 or more rather than putting it at the 4-star. Unless if I could make this into a 7, Awakening 7, there's where I can make the switch. So this would be the one that I can make the switch here. So for the rest, yeah, a no for me. And this is about the accessories. And let me just see back what's in there. Yeah, so I explained the only place where HP difference is. Oh, okay. Focus on HP does not help the foe, the monster, but the only place where HP difference are useful is at Familiar Adventure, but as you can see, uh, but then in the Familiar Adventure, it does not apply. So it means that right now in the content, in the global content, there is nowhere that it can apply the skills here. It does apply to your familiar, but then in the field itself, it's like the mobs are not attacking your pet, so it doesn't need any kind of defense nor high HP because it doesn't make sense. So yeah. So basically 3 stars. If you see all the 3 stars, let me just show you this one here. So this one here, a familiar attack. This does help. So for this necklace here, it does help if you have a Earth Familiar team. It does help on the Earth Familiar attack. So this one, it does help. And let me see another 3 star, 3 star. I think the one that is not benefit is much more on the ring itself. So the ring is the main issue. Earring, yeah, earring is also useless. You can see HP. I don't need HP for the field because no one's attacking my familiar in the field. And same for this one here. It adds ups the defense. You don't have to need the defense since yeah, since your familiar are not being attacked by the mobs, so it's like no point. Maybe yes if there's aggro, but I haven't seen any of my familiar dying. It's like they are just taking turns to come out, spawning out. So it just doesn't make any sense here. So this for this one is it's just purely for collections and codex purpose. And if I see this one here, it's also HP, so it's kind of useless. Ring here, defense is also useless. So the ring and also the earring is the one that are kind of useless. And for the necklace itself, at least there is still some attack adding into the necklace for the 3 star. So this is it about the awakening, yep, awakening effect of the accessories. So you can see example 3 star life ring, the first extra awakening effect adds on the HP for my support familiar. Therefore, for any 3 star, the first special effect is kind of useless. So for any 3 star, I would rephrase this one, 3 star ring and the earring. For any 3 star ring and earrings, the first special effect is useless. First, I would say first extra awakening effect is useless as familiar are not getting attacked by the few mobs. Full stop. And yeah, so this is it. And the only thing that yeah, so if you compare it with the toy itself, so toy itself, it does add some of the stats here, so this does bring into the field. And if I go into the familiar arena, so this is like I'm equipping all my bunny bots for the testing here. So for the familiar arena, bunny bots HP in the field map is 9422. So this is my familiar stat, and my ring effect have like 4.75 HP plus 4.75 HP. So the rough calculations for comparing, if I put in ring, so this one is with the ring, and then if I compare it, so my bunny boss itself is equipping both the ring, my character equipping the ring, and my bunny bot have the feather hairpin. And in the field map, my bunny bot stat is like that, 9422 HP. And in the family arena itself, my HP is a bit lesser, which is 9354 here. So the reason here is that if I do the rough calculations, of course, it's not the very accurate calculations, but at least you can get the idea. So if 9422 minus out 0.75%, which is the differences between the ring effect and the feather hairpin, so you can see this plus 4, this plus 4.5. 4.75, and then as the ring adds like 0.75% more than the toy, then you will get the rough estimations like 9351, which is kind of close to 9354. So this is how you get so where I get the conclusions the ring does not applicable, so this awakening effect here does not applies to the arena, and also the also in the familiar adventure itself. So you can see I equip this toy here. And for the familiar adventure, I use another case sample, which is my lemur without the ring at HP for supporter. So when I do not wear this ring here, and this is the stat from my lemur, so you can see no toys, no ring, and what it does is that it has like 25,000, so ignore CP here, focus on the HP, 6,139. So this is because my life ring there is adding to support familiar HP, so Lambro is also another kind of support family, and also so that's why it's affecting its HP. So without the life ring itself, it's like for the familiar adventure, it's like 6,139, and then with the life ring itself is still the same. So if you see the comparison with, oh sorry, with the life ring 6,139, and I have to come down here to see the HP, so 6,139. And then if I see this one here with the life ring, of course it has higher CP, it makes it to 6,430. So you can use 6,430 divided by the base HP, and you will get like 1.0474, which is close to 4.75. So 474, 475 here. And then this is the HP, which I put it into the calculations here. But then when with or without the life ring itself, when I put it my lemur into the familiar arena to test it, so what is it is with or without the life ring, it also adds HP for a supporter plus. So without the life ring itself, this is the benefit, I mean this is the awakening effect of the life ring, not awakening effect, the first effect, which is this one here. So extra awakening effect, so this effect here doesn't apply in the familiar adventure. This is because when I put it into the slots itself, both of it give me the 25k 549 CP. With or without the life ring, it takes in the one that this one here without the life ring, the base CP rather than the one with the CP. So if I show you guys right now, without the hairpin and without the hairpin toy, so yeah, because the hairpin toy, so if with the hairpin toy, of course, it will affect the CP because it will add to it. So let me just show you guys how it looks. So the CP is the same without the live ring and the field, hence the accessory does not affect the familiar state in the familiar adventure. Okay, let me just put it on my screen. So back to Lermo. Familiar Lermo. Let me just remove the hairpin just to show you guys how it works. Unequip. And then back to Lemur here. So this is the one that I show on my screen, 25K782. This is the base for this one. And then if without the let me just show you guys in the adventure first, challenge adventure, and if I put it into one of the adventures, just take it here. Lemur, where are you? Okay, 25,549. So with the ring itself, even you can see just now the CP is a bit higher, 25,782. This is because it adds the ring at the field CP. So this is what is at the field. But even I'm right now wearing the ring, if I put it on the dispatch, it's only giving me the basic one, which is same as the without the live ring, 25K549. So this is why I put this screenshots here, and I hope this one here is also explained to you, 25K549. So it proves that the ring effect, or even like the necklace, or even like the earring, all those effect does not apply into the familiar adventure nor the arena. And I guess, yeah, this would be all for the explanations here, and I hope this video is helpful for you to understand like what kind of things is affecting which and so on. And all the informations I will put it in the descriptions down below, the Excel sheets that I have shared, and also about the stack up of the toy buff. If you are wondering if the toy buff are stacking or not, for the same familiar, let's say some. For my Toko, I have 2 hairpin here. Where's Toko? Familiar Toko. So if I have 2 hairpin here, does the skill cooldown effect stack? And the answer is yes. That's in another video. And yeah, that's it. So this would be all for this video here. And thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you think this video is helpful for you. Bye.